Hi, thank you for joining me today for this process video. Today I'll be using Pinkfresh Studio Simply the Best, and I'm using four 4x6 photos on this page. So as you can see, I'm laying them out approximately where I want them to go, and then I'm going to trim them down, just taking off the excess bits that don't really need to be in the photos, so that I've got them collaged along the left-hand side of the page. So I won't make you watch me cutting everything down, but you can more or less see how it's going. I have 2 square and then 2 4x6s, and there they are there. So I'm going to use this template from Crafters Workshop. We've got it available on Hey Little Magpie, and I'm just using the iced spruce distress oxide to push some ink through the stencil to create a background, just like that. And now I can lay the photos down on top. So I'll be sticking these down with double-sided tape. After mentioning the other day, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know I used to use double-sided tape. I kind of moved on to liquid glue, PVA, but for this I thought, because they're going flat on the page, double-sided tape would be a good option. And you'll see the photos to the left, I am using double-sided tape around the edges. The one on the right and the edges of the right-hand side edges of the photos, I'm actually not putting too much tape on because I want to be able to tuck things under. So double-sided tape gives a really good adhesion to the page, so you don't need to cover the entire photo with tape, just enough to get it stuck down. So that's 2 of them down, just getting the 3rd one down now, and then that long 6x4. These are photos of our trip to Fenway Park Baseball Stadium when we went to Boston back in 2015. We did a guided tour, and it was absolutely wonderful. I can highly recommend it if you ever go to Boston. Not something that I thought I would enjoy, but Ross was keen to do, and I was blown away. Honestly, it was just so interesting. They've got their own market garden and all sorts on there. Really good. So just trying to blast through a few more of these photos today. That's why I thought I would do 4 to a page, just trying to get through them, because as with all things like this, when you pay for a tour, you take loads of photos as they tell you the interesting information. You feel it important to document it. So you can see now that I'm just working around the page with some of the ephemera pieces. I've only used a tiny bit of pattern paper on this page again, just focusing on the ephemera pieces here and literally using everything. You can see that frame with the black border is actually one of the pieces of paper that some other ephemera pieces were punched out of, but I've just covered the hole where the punch outs came from, and the same with that one at the top there, and I'm using that as an embellishment. I'll actually move that piece in a bit because I didn't like the way it was just floating there at the top. The word happy is one of James's JD3DPrint Wood Words. These are available on our Etsy store if you're outside the UK, or on Hey Little Magpie if you're in the UK or outside the UK. It's just much cheaper for shipping on Etsy. So this is one of the chipboard frames, and it says Adventures, so I like that just tucked underneath that photo to the right hand side. And I'm just looking to see if there are any other frames, and I think this one works nicely and just builds up that cluster above that photo that's sticking out. So this is from the sticker sheet, 6x12 sticker sheet, and it says Go Team, so couldn't think of anything more appropriate really for a baseball stadium. So just adding that there, and then looking through to see what else I can find. I like the 6x6 paper pad in this collection. There are loads of cut aparts on it, and I'm just cutting this piece out that says Life Right Now, and that's going to go in that square frame next to the red tickets. Those red tickets are 49 and Market Ticket Essentials, and you'll see me using them an awful lot because you get a huge amount on a roll. Well, you get 3 rolls in a pack, so they're great just for adding little details to your pages. So now just punching the hole out of that little tag that I'm adding to the bottom. It just says You and Me. And again, this is a piece that I'd cut out from one of the 6x6 papers previously. I just sit in front of the telly doing some fussy cutting sometimes. So gluing that happy word down with wet glue, and then I've just stuck everything else down to the page. I didn't make you sit and watch me gluing everything. I have done in the past, but I'm thinking of cutting that piece out of the video from now on, because it's not really very interesting as it's watching somebody glue things down. But do let me know if you prefer me to leave that in the video, and of course I can do that. So I've just cut another piece of paper from the 6x6 pad, and I'm using this to create a little tag at the top just to finish that cluster off above the photo there. So using my crocodile to punch a hole in the top, and then I shall add some of the wax thread into that hole just to finish that off. So gluing it down before adding the thread. I'm using this lovely peacock green, which works perfectly with the greens in the photos. So just popping it through the hole, and then it'll trail down to the right hand side, and I just push it underneath the corner of that frame to hold it in place. So now adding some more to that bottom tag, and I'm just going to tie this in a bow once it's been threaded through the hole. And there you go, a nice neat bow at the bottom there, and just trim off the edges. And you can see I've used another one of our Hey Little Magpie flare badges, and that just says remember this. I love those just for adding little bits of detail to your page and a bit of dimension as well. So using my date stamp to add the date here, and I'm going back in with that ice spruce ink just to keep the greens going through the page. And then I'm going to grab my ruler and a grey pen, and I'm just going to add some lines through this stencil just to extend the lines across the page. I felt like it was very circular. I wanted to go for the circular theme because obviously it was a baseball stadium, but I just felt that this would draw the eye out to the edges of the page rather than it just being a very abrupt stop. And I think it works quite nicely. It just adds a bit of detail. So that's a great way of drawing the eye out towards the edge if you need to. So finally I'm going to cover up my photos with some scrap paper and just splatter again with that ice spruce just over the stencil again, just to draw the eye out and make it less of an abrupt stop at the edge of that circle. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed that. This Pinkfresh Studio collection is absolutely wonderful. I've really enjoyed using it, and I can see me using it a lot more before I'm done. So if you like this video, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. It really does help me out so much. And other than that, I shall see you again very soon. Thanks so much. Bye.